50 pounds in weight, and all the eczema and asthma just cleared up. A lot of energy was released. Skin feels great. I feel great. So the benefits, were worth it, absolutely. And it's like anything. The more you start to do it, first it seems really strange and different, but then as you get used to the new lifestyle, let's say, it becomes second nature. And today it's so much more mainstream, which is great.
So I asked Wendy to put together a no-bake on-the-go bar with ingredients that would be easy for us to obtain, because that's part of the challenge. Is they put together these recipes and they're like, you need eye of newt, and you're like, I don't know where to get that, So most of these ingredients, what would you say they're available?
Yeah, they're available in Costco, most grocery stores. You can get them online and deliberately try to find things that are easy. So I'll quickly run through them if you like. So I'm going to be using gluten-free rolled oats.
Do you mind giving us the benefits of each of the ingredients?
Sure, yeah. Oats are a great filler. They are really high in fiber. So we need fiber. We don't eat nearly enough fiber. We're supposed to eat at least 30 grams of fiber a day. Most people will even get 5. So this is a great one. And this is gluten-free. So that's another great benefit.
I might add that Bob's Red Mill is a privately owned company where it's a co-op and everybody then gets a share of the profits. So we love Bob's Red Mill. Part of what I do at Greening for Life is promote not only organic but startup brands and brands where founders are an integral part and also support, pay fair wages to their employees and so forth. So we love Bob's Red Mill. They've been around for a long time. They're a great company. They take care of their people, and their integrity is very high in the quality of the products.
I'm also going to be using a sunflower butter. Seeds are really highly nutritious, whether it's sunflower, pumpkin, sesame. And this is particularly because this is a nut-free recipe. A lot of people, if they've got kids, they can't take anything with peanuts or nuts into school. I'm lucky that I'm not allergic to nuts, so I use them a lot in my diet. But if you are allergic to nuts, then I also use a lot of sunflower and pumpkin seeds, which is great this time of the year. If you think about, a small seed has enough nutrients in it to grow a huge plant and produce fruits and vegetables. So those seeds are really concentrated, and you don't need a lot. Same with nuts, and they're great when you grind them up into a butter, or you can make dressings with them. You can sprinkle them in many, many things. They also are high in protein as well as in good fats. So
does everybody know? Has anyone heard of sun butter? Anyone ever had sun butter?
Sunflower butter?
So good. Really, really good.
And it's really good. Like I say, it's a nice one to have, especially if you've got kids and they're taking things into school.
Which is cool, especially because it's still nut-free.
Yes.
So on those days when you're tired, you got to put together a something butter and jelly sandwich. You're safe. You're not going to kill everybody.
Hemp seeds is another great one. This has become known for its protein content. A lot of people don't, I get asked that all the time. Vegan, where do you get your protein? So seeds is one big source. Hemp seeds are highly concentrated in protein. So this is a great one, and they're very easy to digest. They're very soft. You can put them in, sprinkle them in so many things: dressings, salads, desserts, whatever you want, cereals. Okay. And I've got chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate? But this is raw chocolate. This is cacao nibs. Basically, if anyone doesn't know, the difference is cocoa is when the cacao bean has been roasted. And like with a lot of things, when things are cooked, they can lose some of their nutrition. So if you can, I'm not saying you can't use dark chocolate, is good too, but if you can get raw, it's great because it still contains so many micronutrients, magnesium, zinc, a ton of great things are in raw cacao versus cocoa. Okay, and it tastes great. And dried berries, especially this time of year as we go into winter, these are goji berries. Got these at Costco. This big pack was I think about $12, but you don't need a lot. You just need a small handful. They taste, if you've not tasted them, they're a little bit like a cranberry. Just got a lot of great nutrients, vitamins in there, vitamins in there, and they're a nice addition to any dessert or salad or whatever you want garnish. Okay. So the idea is to try and get things as nutritionally dense as possible, so that when you're eating, you're feeling full. But I think one of the most important things to do is when we're on the run, we don't tend to really look at our food. We tend to be looking at screens or thinking about what we're doing next. We don't actually look at what we're eating. So what I would say is if you can, when you start to eat your lunch or have a snack, just take a minute to really just slow down for 1 minute, look at your food, smell your food, taste your food, chew your food, and you'll really start to feel full and you'll start to enjoy your food again. We're so busy kind of running and eating that sometimes we don't even remember eating our food. And I'd say that's a simple thing to do, but it's a really good thing to do.
And also chewing.
Chewing is
Digestion starts in the mouth.
Yes.
So many times it's like and down, and we can't possibly take advantage of all the nutrients that the food has to offer if we're not chewing it well. So really, if you could chew your food well, you're getting so much more mileage out of it. Now, can we swap out a lot of these ingredients? Like we can swap out goji berries for raisins, right?
Yeah.
Nothing is set in stone here, right?
Nothing is set in stone. I'd say the basics are, the oats are a really nice, easy digestible, easy accessible thing to start as a base. The nut butter, it could be any nut butter, it doesn't have to be sunflower, it could be peanut butter, it could be almond, cashew, whatever you like. The goji berries, if you can't get them or you don't like them, raisins are great, they're a great source of iron. Dried blueberries, any berry really that's dried is great.
For those of us that still need the sugar, can we throw in some maple syrup? Can we throw in
I
some
was just going to
honey?
say, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
I've actually got in here is the wet ingredients, which is the sunflower butter, and there's a quarter cup of maple syrup. So I've got to go completely vegan, but you could use honey, or anything really. You could add sugar if you wanted to, but because this is a wet dough-like, it's better if it's a liquid sugar. You could use agave as well if you wanted to.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
I'm a photographer, filmmaker, and I often film food. Maybe you have some pointers how to film food and for pictures, for video. Like a lot of us like to do Instagram pictures of food. Is there any advice?
Pointers for
Like
filming food?
colors, like accessorizing, like how do you present it properly?
When
That's
I take...
the bonus, right?
Yeah.
The brighter the food, the better it is for you.
Yes.
So, and the more photogenic it is too.
The brighter it is, the more antioxidants it has in it. Natural daylight is always best. I find I try and photograph by a window if I can. And contrast, using different bright colors.
Do you spray? Do you move it? How do you
I
present
spray?
it?
Sometimes I'll
How do
use
you
some
style
olive,
it?
Yeah, I'll style sometimes with olive oil to give a shine, that kind of thing.
Thank you.
I'm trying to get what else I use. It's usually pretty good as it is, to be quite honest. Yeah.
The moral of the story is that nature does all the job.
Yes. But it's fun. I enjoy taking pictures of food. My kids complain all the time, taking photos again, yeah.
People want to know.
So, shall I begin?
Any other questions before we start in terms of substitutions, or how about refrigeration? If I take this and it's sitting at the bottom of my bag, if I take it at 9 a.m., at 4 a.m., is it still cool?
Yeah, all the ingredients here are raw.
4 p.m., 4 a.m. out of the club.
Yeah, this particular recipe is exactly that. Everything's raw. It's okay to be left out all day long, so it would be naturally anyway. It does taste better, though, I think, if you can chill it for a little while, give it a chance to meld together the flavors and keep it in the fridge. But, because it might go a little soft, a little gooey as the day progresses, but it doesn't have to be refrigerated.
How about the ingredients? Do you recommend that? Because I would keep my coffee in the freezer, and I found that some people say, yes, that's true, other people are like, no, not really. So do you recommend keeping anything in the refrigerator?
Even the, well,
There's rancidity issues?
yeah, it
ever?
depends. I mean, I use things regularly, so it depends on how often you're using them. If you're using it very rarely, a little bit here and there, then yeah, you can keep things in the freezer. Seeds and things will be fine in the freezer. But honestly, I mean, if you're using them every day, then you don't need to. Airtight is
You're
fine.
shaming us. You better use it every day.
I'm not trying to shame, I'm just saying they're great to eat, so yeah. We make trail mixes out of them, that's what I do a lot. Yeah. All right, so.
Could we bake this bar if we were motivated? Or does it need it?
Doesn't need it, this
Okay.
one really doesn't need baking. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, so, and I hope to be able to email you all the recipe. I'll run it through now. So in this container here is a cup of the oats, a quarter cup of the cacao nibs. There's a quarter cup of flaxseed, ground flaxseed. Ground flaxseed is great because it digests better. If you whole flaxseed, and the same I'm afraid with the chia puddings and things, you don't get the same nutritional benefits because the seeds are still whole. So if you can grind up the flaxseed, grind up the chia, you just get all the benefits versus just some of them. There's some cinnamon, there's a little pinch of sea salt, and there's a quarter cup of goji berries. Okay?
The trick to cinnamon also is if you could keep cinnamon sticks around, that's great. Because the thing with spices is that many of our spices, little known fact, but I did a post about it, so I happen to know, is that spices can sit around for 2 years before they even make it into your cabinet. And then in your cabinet, they'll probably sit for another 2 years, right? Who's baking every day? So if you get the cinnamon stick and then you just, scrape it out as you need it, it's best to do it that way.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm just adding a half cup of, this is the sunflower butter, and a quarter cup of maple syrup, and there's a little vanilla extract in there too. And literally all you're doing, this is a great one to do with kids, is mixing them together. They'll bind and make like a cookie dough.
And the trick with vanilla extract is that, and I didn't know this until I had kids, is that you really could make your own. You get a vanilla bean and you could pour anything over it you want. You could put the vanilla bean in a small jar, you could do it with bourbon, you could do it with vodka, but that's all vanilla extract is just the stick and then whatever alcohol you may want to put in it. I don't think I've ever heard gin,
No,
but I've
you
heard
better-
bourbon and vodka.
Vodka has no flavor, so it takes on the flavor of whatever it is. The best thing with extracts is to use 100 proof vodka. And you can get it, Smirnoff do a lot of 100 proof. And you literally do that, you put the herbs and spices in a jar, you pour the vodka over, and you let it sit for a couple of weeks normally, and then you strain it, and you get your extract. That's it. Okay, so,
Here's our little samples that we're all going to get later. Woot woot!
yeah, you only need like 1 or 2 of these is enough, per person, I would say. This will make about 16, about the size of a ping pong ball. So you really, they're really dense. There's a lot of protein, there's a lot of fiber, there is some sugar, you've got the berries, so you don't need to, you'll feel it, you'll notice when you eat it that it's satisfying. I don't know if you can see this. This is the dough. So, really quickly comes together. And then you just break it into sections. I'll just do it quickly because I don't know how we do it for time.
I don't know. Could we roll it, let's say, in the other superfood, like coconut or something?
Sure. Yeah, whatever you like, you can roll it in. Shredded coconut's great. Something else. Chopped nuts, if you like, walnuts and things are great.
And this is the finished product?
This is the hemp seed. So what I did was, with the hemp seed, I actually added a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and a little pinch of salt. Because they are quite plain.
We didn't talk
tasting.
about salt. That's the thing, it's interesting whenever I go out to eat and I have oatmeal, it's always so good and I can't figure out why. And it's salt. And in baked goods, you always notice, like, if you have a salted caramel this or a salted whatever, really salt adds a whole nother dimension. So if you throw a smidge of salt into any dessert, it's gonna make it better. It's gonna really round out the flavor. And that's something I didn't know. I was like, why do my cookies taste flat? But if you forget that smidge of salt, it makes a really big difference.
Yeah, whenever, your tastes are, salty, sweet, sour, spicy, so you should really have a combination of all flavors in all your cooking and just one dominates. But yeah, with sweet things you should have a pinch of salt, it really brings out the flavor.
And Himalayan pink salt is better. It has more minerals than regular white salt.
Okay, so I'm just rolling it in the hemp seeds to coat. And that is it.
Boom.
Done.
Excellent. Thank you, Wendy. So at the end of the event, I guess, does everybody want their snacks now or later? Should we do them later? Hand them out now or later?
You all look hungry. If you want to, you can grab a snack. There's also a few chips on the table, and we're starting the panel in 2 minutes. I really mean 2 minutes. So 2 minutes, we're starting the panel, okay?
Should we do them now? Does everybody want